Have you ever noticed how the tallest trees stay rooted even in strong winds? What if staying grounded and calm could help you face life's challenges with strength and wisdom? Taoism teaches that heaviness and stillness are essential qualities for a balanced and wise life. In Taoism, heaviness and stillness symbolize stability and wisdom. Heaviness refers to the ability to stay grounded, not easily swayed by the chaos around us. Stillness means being calm and reflective, allowing us to see things clearly without rushing into action. Think of a large rock in a river. It remains in place while the water flows around it. This rock symbolizes the power of being anchored and unmovable amid life's changes. By cultivating these qualities, we can respond to challenges with poise and make thoughtful decisions rather than acting impulsively. But why is it so important to be heavy and still in life? Wouldn't being active and quick be more effective? Taoism suggests that while action is sometimes necessary, acting from a place of calm and stability leads to better outcomes. When we are still, we can observe situations without emotional reactions clouding our judgment. For instance, during an argument, a person who pauses and listens before responding can often find a solution more effectively than someone who jumps in impulsively. Heaviness and stillness give us the time and strength to see beyond the surface and understand the deeper truth. This focus on heaviness and stillness contrasts with the modern emphasis on being constantly busy and active. In many places, productivity and quick responses are seen as signs of success. However, Taoism reminds us that without moments of pause, we risk becoming exhausted or making hasty decisions that lead to more problems. Heaviness and stillness offer balance, allowing us to gather our energy and reflect before moving forward. Just as a wise leader listens before speaking, adopting this calm approach in daily life can lead to more thoughtful actions and outcomes. But doesn't too much stillness or heaviness make a person passive or slow to act? Can being overly calm cause missed opportunities? Taoism emphasizes that stillness doesn't mean inaction. It means acting from a place of awareness. When we are calm and stable, we're able to act decisively when the time is right. Heaviness helps us stand firm in our beliefs, while stillness gives us the clarity to see when and how to move. The goal is to strike a balance between being reflective and being ready to act, ensuring that our actions are wise and meaningful rather than rushed. In conclusion, the importance of heaviness and stillness in Taoism teaches us that true strength comes from being grounded and calm. By staying rooted and reflective, we can handle life's challenges with wisdom and avoid unnecessary mistakes. Next, we'll explore the subtlety of excellence and how the most effective actions are often those that leave no trace, embodying quiet skill and grace. Have you ever met someone who does things so gracefully and effectively that you barely notice their efforts? What if the greatest acts of excellence were those that left no trace, done so subtly that they seemed almost effortless? Taoism teaches that true skill lies in quiet, humble actions that speak for themselves. Taoism values subtlety and excellence, suggesting that the best actions are those that do not call attention to themselves. The most skilled people do their work without seeking recognition, like a craftsman who builds a flawless chair that everyone admires, not realizing how much thought and effort went into making it. These acts of quiet excellence are often the most impactful because they achieve their purpose without creating disruption or the need for praise. It's like water flowing around obstacles. It shapes the land over time without making a show of its power. But how can subtlety be more effective than boldness? Don't big, noticeable actions get better results? Taoism suggests that subtlety allows actions to blend harmoniously with life, creating lasting effects. For example, a leader who guides their team with quiet confidence and supports them from behind is often more respected than one who loudly demands attention. Their actions inspire loyalty and trust because they don't overshadow the contributions of others. Subtle excellence achieves goals without creating resistance or conflict, making it more sustainable. This idea of subtlety is different from the common belief that success requires standing out and making sure everyone notices your work. Many people are taught to chase recognition, thinking that being bold and visible is the only way to show value. While recognition has its place, Taoism reminds us that the most meaningful achievements often come from those who focus on the task itself rather than the applause. By working quietly and thoughtfully, We can create work that speaks for itself, valued not because it's loud, but because it's deeply effective. But if excellence is too subtle, won't people overlook it or fail to appreciate it? How can we balance doing good work and making sure it's seen? Taoism doesn't suggest hiding our talents, but rather not being overly attached to recognition. The work itself should be enough, and the right people will notice its value in time. When we focus on doing our best without expecting praise, our efforts often gain more genuine appreciation. People who work for the joy of it, without seeking constant validation, often find deeper satisfaction and respect from others. In conclusion, the subtlety of excellence teaches us that true skill lies in quiet, impactful actions that achieve their goals without creating noise or seeking attention. This approach leads to more meaningful results and deeper fulfillment. Next, we'll explore how embracing opposites and contradictions can bring balance to life, showing that strength and yielding, light and dark, all play vital roles in our understanding of harmony. Have you ever noticed how opposites often work together in surprising ways? Think of how darkness makes us appreciate light, or how rest makes us more energetic. Taoism teaches that life is balanced by embracing opposites, showing us that harmony comes from the presence of contrasting forces. In Taoism, opposites like strength and softness, light and dark, or joy and sorrow are seen as essential parts of life. Each one defines the other, creating a natural balance. For example, consider the concept of strength and yielding. A strong, rigid tree might break in a storm, while a flexible bamboo bends and survives. This is a lesson in how being adaptable, embracing the qualities of both strength and softness, helps us endure life's challenges. Taoism encourages us not to resist opposites, but to find harmony by understanding how they complement each other. But why is it important to accept both sides of these opposites? Wouldn't life be better if we focused only on the positive aspects? Taoism suggests that by embracing both sides, we gain a fuller understanding of life. Happiness is more meaningful because we know sadness, and success feels sweeter because we've experienced failure. Rather than trying to avoid difficulties, we learn from them, growing stronger and wiser. This balance helps us face challenges with calmness, knowing that every hardship has a lesson and every loss brings an opportunity for renewal. This approach contrasts with the common view that we should focus only on the good aspects of life and avoid the bad. Many people try to chase happiness while ignoring or suppressing negative feelings. While positivity is valuable, Taoism teaches that the negative aspects are equally important for personal growth. By accepting opposites, we allow ourselves to experience life fully, without judgment. Just as we can appreciate a warm day after a cold one, acknowledging both positive and negative experiences brings a deeper sense of peace and resilience. But if we accept opposites, won't we become too passive or accepting of negative situations? Isn't it important to strive for a better life? Taoism doesn't suggest surrendering to negative situations, but rather viewing them as part of the natural flow. When we see challenges as temporary and necessary, we approach them calmly, making it easier to find solutions. Embracing opposites doesn't mean giving up on progress. It means understanding that setbacks are part of growth. This perspective allows us to work toward our goals without being discouraged by obstacles, knowing they are part of the journey. In conclusion, embracing opposites allows us to find harmony by appreciating both sides of life's experiences. By accepting strength and softness, joy and sorrow, we open ourselves to a more balanced and peaceful way of living. Next, we'll explore how Taoism views the value of non-attachment and how letting go can bring freedom and clarity to our lives. Have you ever felt burdened by the need to hold on to things, whether it's possessions, relationships, or even ideas? What if true freedom came from letting go rather than clinging tightly? Taoism teaches that non-attachment is the key to finding clarity and peace in life. Non-attachment in Taoism doesn't mean rejecting or abandoning things. It means appreciating them without being overly dependent on them. Imagine holding a handful of water. If you squeeze your fist, the water slips away. But if you hold it gently, it stays in your palm. Taoism encourages us to approach life this way, enjoying what we have without fear of loss. For example, someone who practices non-attachment in relationships values their loved ones deeply, but doesn't try to control them or fear change. This perspective allows for more authentic connections and less stress. But how does non-attachment help us deal with challenges and losses? Isn't it natural to feel pain when something important is taken away? Taoism suggests that by letting go of the need to control outcomes, we free ourselves from unnecessary suffering. For instance, if we lose a job, clinging to the idea that it was the only path to success might lead to despair. However, embracing non-attachment allows us to see new possibilities and move forward. This doesn't mean ignoring pain or pretending it doesn't exist, but rather accepting it as part of life's flow and trusting that things will change. This view contrasts with the common belief that holding tightly to what we value shows strength and commitment. In many cultures, people are encouraged to chase security, whether through wealth, possessions, or status, as a way to feel in control. While stability is important, Taoism points out that clinging too tightly often leads to fear and anxiety, as change is inevitable. Non-attachment offers a different path, teaching us to value what we have without being consumed by the fear of losing it. This creates a lighter, more peaceful way of living. But doesn't non-attachment risk making us indifferent or unmotivated? If we don't hold on, how can we strive for success or build meaningful relationships? Taoism doesn't advocate for indifference. It encourages us to engage with life fully while remaining open to change. Non-attachment means investing in what matters without letting fear or obsession dictate our actions. For example, a person who works hard on a project because they love it, rather than out of fear of failure, is more likely to find joy and creativity in their work. This balance allows us to be deeply engaged without being weighed down. In conclusion, the value of non-attachment lies in finding freedom and clarity by letting go of the need to control or cling. By appreciating what we have without fear of loss, we can live with more peace and openness. Next, we'll explore how simplicity and harmony with nature can guide us to a more balanced and fulfilling life, connecting us to the world around us. Have you ever felt overwhelmed by the complexity of modern life? What if the secret to peace and happiness lies in returning to simplicity and living in harmony with nature? Taoism teaches that by simplifying our lives and aligning with the natural world, we can find true balance and contentment. Taoism emphasizes that simplicity is the key to living in harmony with nature. Instead of complicating our lives with unnecessary possessions or ambitions, we can focus on what truly matters. Nature provides a perfect example of this simplicity. A tree doesn't strive to grow faster than its neighbors. It simply grows at its own pace, responding to sunlight and rain. Similarly, living in harmony with nature means understanding life's natural rhythms and avoiding the stress of forcing things to happen. When we simplify, we free ourselves to appreciate the beauty of the world around us and the peace it offers. But how can simplifying our lives and connecting with nature make such a big difference? Isn't it possible to live a fulfilled life even with complexity? Taoism suggests that complexity often leads to stress, distraction, and disconnection from our true selves. For example, a person constantly chasing wealth or status may find themselves feeling empty despite their achievements. In contrast, someone who spends time in nature, appreciating its calm and balance, might discover a deeper sense of peace and purpose. Simplicity helps us clear away distractions, making space for what truly nourishes our minds and hearts. This idea challenges the modern focus on progress, productivity, and material success. Many people associate happiness with having more possessions, more accomplishments, more recognition. While these things can bring temporary satisfaction, Taoism argues that they often complicate life and create more stress. Simplicity, on the other hand, reduces this burden, allowing us to live with greater clarity and intention. By aligning with the natural flow of life, we can find joy in small, meaningful moments, like watching a sunset or sharing a meal with loved ones. But can simplicity and harmony with nature meet the demands of modern life? Don't we need complexity and ambition to thrive in today's world? Taoism doesn't suggest abandoning all ambition or modern comforts. Rather, it encourages us to simplify where we can and prioritize what truly matters. For instance, someone might choose to live in a way that balances work with time spent in nature or focuses on relationships over material possessions. This doesn't mean giving up progress, but finding a way to achieve it without losing touch with what's important. In conclusion, embracing simplicity and living in harmony with nature helps us reconnect with life's true essence, reducing stress and fostering balance. By focusing on what matters most and aligning with natural rhythms, we can find peace and fulfillment. Next, we'll explore the concept of effortless action, or Wu Wei, and how letting go of struggle can lead to greater success and ease in life.